Hi, Infidels. Well, when I was in Coimbatore at Tianalinga in Shiva Center, needed the help of the Brahmanis, they didn't. They turned themselves back to me. Probably it wasn't their fault. Maybe it was set like this. Maybe some form of Kali entered them and denied them from helping me. Because when I'm desperately asking for help, for advice, one of them turned himself into silent mode and was denying to talk with me, even when there wasn't reason to be in a silent mode by that time. He just did it. Another two Brahmanis in the bus promised me to call me and set a meeting with me, but none of them called to me. None of them. And they told me, you must trust people. You must learn to trust people. Yeah, by this, I really didn't get this lesson much good way because it was a lie like a hell we are living in. So, but I knew that they will not call to me because I felt her presence again. So they didn't, just the way I assumed. Another, I was talking in Dianalinga, and second one too, and third one also. The others didn't speak English, and my Sanskritam is not on a level for fluent talking. So they didn't help me also. Some of them were talking with me, but they were probably hearing something else than I was saying to them. Many of them have message for Sadhguru, but they didn't pass this message to him, obviously. So I will have to work this way on my own. It's air conditioner set for heating because there is winter coming. That's cold. And in this room is only 18 degrees of Celsius and I like warm. I was about to stay in India, but the circumstances. the circumstances didn't allow me. I was about to stay there, but there's too much legal reasons what the government of India wants from the people to be able to be there. And in my life happened things which are not my fault, but they happened anyway. One of them is that I was with broken head, and the man who did it to me told some nonsense to police, and the court made me guilt from attacking him even when it was even when he attacked me. And I was then 14 days in a hospital, and doesn't matter. The whole story is much longer, but the thing is that I was unable, and he didn't. Ah, I don't want to talk about it. Just the things happen the way that happened. So I'm not able to stay there. And the second thing is that you need an approval of your country. Your own originating country must approve you that you may stay there. I don't know why they are asking the foreign countries, but my country won't allow me this because India is in a cooperation with Russia and China, and my country is against Russia because they are supporting Ukrainians. This is all the funny thing because Ukrainians and Russians are Slovenians, and Czechs are also Slovenians. So Slovenians are fighting Slovenians. Brothers are killing brothers for no reason, just because the West provoked this. And because of this provocation, they are killing themselves. The West find out a way how to eliminate Slovenians because there is only one way how to eliminate Slovenians, which is to make them fight between themselves. Otherwise, there is no possibility to win because the Russia never fought. And they never fought in history. They never fought in the history because they don't have that democracy, which is the stupid system. Because everyone have the rights for everything. So poor people wants to be rich, so they are getting part of the richness of the rich people, which pisses the rich people, but it is so. The women want to have the rights of the men, so the women are feminists and have the rights of the men, which is the bad of this berserkers of this, because feminists don't do the good job for women like that, because this way women are losing their femininity and they are becoming like a man, which is really awesome for a woman when she becomes as a man. Then you may become a gay because many of men's are more feminine than much of the women's today's days. Like, you wanna cuddle or something? Oh, I'm feminist. I'm like a man. I won't cuddle. What you can do? And there are other things which are more crucial to democracy, because in this type of society, almost everyone can do everything. So the villains are allowed to be in a political functions, and because of those political functions, they get the power. And when they get the power, which already happened, there comes a tyranny from it. And this tyranny is forcing other nations which have stupid government to fight against own nation, which doesn't have a stupid government maybe, but they are made him look like that. So they are forced to fight together. And this way the government also looks stupid. No. See, I was able to become someone who is able to change everything of this, but I wasn't allowed to do that. I could be someone who may possibly change the God how he is. But because Sadhguru was the only one who was able to help me, but he was in Kansas for saving soil. Brahmanis were said to be like monkeys, so they are not sages. They wasn't able to recognize who I am and what I need from them. And they are easily possessible by Kali, which sages also are, but they will recognize that Kali is inside of them. They will feel it and they will know it just by changing their behavior, because of they are able to observe themselves in a really detailed manner. Sages are able to recognize when Kali enters them silently. So they know that the things they are saying are not theirs. They know that the things they are doing are not them. They are just able to know this. They are easily noticing what's happening. Same as me. But they weren't there. And Brahmanis, they are technically, in this, they are technically same way as any other human. They have little more knowledge than the normal people. Still, it's promile from the whole creation. Not even percent. And it's impossible to know even percent for a human. So when you, even when you are a sage, you know almost nothing from what is possible to know. And it's impossible to know everything. If someone, and there is no city in this world, and won't be for many thousand years, but if there was possible, a human became a city, which means that this human would embody the God on the so high level, that he will be clearly see the things as the God planned them. He will be able to see things not even for this iteration, but for the next iterations of this world, of these universes, or this universe which is running now, and the next universes which will run in the future, same as the universes which already passed. And he will be able. So this CD must be on the level to be able to change. The God must be on the level that he will be able to see the other Brahmanandas with millions of nodes, millions of heads, and be able to see the creations created in those Brahmanandas. This way, CD, impossible here. This way, CD could be able to change the God, how he is. If there is normal CD, which is able only to see the creations created in this Brahmananda, this forehead node, forehead cluster of 4 nodes. Sorry. This CD could be able to change what is happening in our creations, be able to have an influence for next, be able to have an influence for the next iterations of this universe, and big influence on this universe, how the things will happen in this universe will have a bigger influence even than Vishnu have. Two comparisons. When Kali wants to change something, she enters you or someone and changes the behavior and thinking of that person and makes the changes. Then leaves the person and the person becomes like was before. He doesn't remember what happened. He doesn't remember that he changed anything. He doesn't remember a shit. Because it wasn't him. He was in a track of Kali. But his character returns onto the character of his soul, like he was before. Yes? And compared to Vishnu, when Vishnu wants to do something like that, he doesn't, let's say it's him. He will not need to enter this person because he's able to change his personality on the level of his own existence, of the properties of the soul. So the behavior of that personality accordingly changes according to the environment in which this person lives, and it changes the qualities of that person. So those are two ways. It's possible to ask Vishnu for help. It's possible to ask Krishna for help. It's also partially possible to embody the character of Krishna. It doesn't mean that you will become Krishna like he was, with his all qualities and with all his. You may embody his properties partially, but not became with the qualities he had in his time, because the environment is not the way like was his environment, so the qualities will develop in another way, depending on a situation in which you are living. So that's the difference. And this is that difference. So when you need help from someone, when you are and you are expecting that this person will help you, and this person didn't help you, it's not always their fault, because even when they are on a certain spirituality level, they may get still possessed and be remotely controlled. It's not even remotely. It's locally controlled. So they are unable. They are unable to do anything about that. Even the Brahmanis wasn't able to solve it, to do anything about that. They were thinking that they are like that. That it's their normal behavior. Maybe after that they could be able to realize that they were acting like stupid monkey, but they don't remember it. So they wasn't again. Those from the bus won't even remember that they stored my phone number in their phones. You must trust people, says says Kali in them through them to me. I'm able to see her, they don't. Just funny thing. As I saw the people in India, few of them were thinking that Kali is inside of me, that I'm there for the punishment, and they will probably expect that by this time I'll be already dead or suffering from some disease or ailment or be in a bad state of the mind, soul, or the body. But the thing is, you can't be in the bad state of something you don't have. And I'm not talking about the body because the body I obviously have. And when he left, I needed some replacement for him because I wouldn't stay in a state of vegetative state, in a coma, like the body without a soul, like the bodies without the souls are in the coma. If you call Devi into the bodies which are in coma, those bodies will become functional again, but it won't be the people which were in the bodies before. It will become a new man. But for the family and relatives around them, they will it will look like that. I didn't say Google stupid thing. It will look like that they returned. Very loving persons returned. But it's not them. Of course, if they are possibly able to remember things, it will look like them. If they are unable to remember things because of the bad implementation of the Devi without connecting the originating soul, um, the best thing is the best way is to reconnect them. And if it's not possible because that soul is already gone, you still may reconnect their relatives which lived in their previous life, like the grandpa or grandma or something like that, because many of children have their character after the grandparents. So it may still look like they returned. No, doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm doing maximum what I'm capable of to do to stop this stupid war. As I saw the armies are mobilizing, armas, get on to be able to become Armageddon, which means when the usage of nuclear weapons will become in a situation of reality, we will all die over the whole planet. So, sorry, Sage Guru, but your safe soil will be useless. It wasn't safe soil, the God told you. It was save humanity, because humans are humus mans, the mans of the soil, man becoming from the mud. It was save humans, not soil. But it even looks that this way it's more successful than it could be if you were trying to save our planet like a whole and make it make it a way that we will not kill each other. There is much more sages in the world which are able to do something with it. But the thing is that the most powerful sages are Maheshwara sages. And they are in the state of the mind that what is happening is good. So they will not go. They will not go against it, even when it means there's own death. They will be happy from it. There are Mahadeva sages which don't bother what's happening. What is happening the way it is. They don't bother with anything. So, how the things are, this way things are, just like that. So they don't bother with it also. Then there are here sages of Kali. Some of them will be this way, some of them will be that way. It depends which forms of Kali are the most strongest in them. Because when you embody Kali, it doesn't mean you will become evil or the goodness automatically. It depends how you cooperate with her, and it depends which manifestations, which functions of her you are using, you are calling. So, as Kali Sage, you may become a really good person, but the others will still not like you because they are afraid that you will enter them and change their behavior and they will not remember it, and so on and so on. So we are still unpopular. Even when it's the goddess of India, the people are just like monkeys. Beware of Kali. Automatically, they are like in a Western world. When you say Satan, everything and everyone will be like, Satan, Satan, no, 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 call the God. Yeah, call the God. Which part of the God? The bright side? Okay, then it's good. It will certainly be better character than Satan. But if you will call the dark side of the God, you want to have a better demon for help than the Satan. Satan at least appreciates your existence as his toy. He may play with you. You maybe don't like it sometimes, but he's still like the child. He wants to play. Sometimes he's the evil child. Sometimes he's a child in a good mood, but he still wants to play. When you call a demon, there are few demons which likes to play also, like a Turiel or Jekyll. Those are playable demons. But if you call Mahesh Asura, is not the way that he needs anyone. He doesn't need completely anyone. He doesn't need any devotees. He doesn't need anyone to play with. He likes his existence by his own, but the way that he doesn't even like himself. He's just the way that he doesn't like anything or anyone. He doesn't even like this creation, this universe. He doesn't like any other universes, any other creations, any other Brahmanandas. Just he doesn't like anything. He just wants to be lies to be there and do nothing because it's not important to do anything. Why to do anything? Why to bother with anything? Because everything is useless, everything is boring, everything was already there. If it will be there, it will be same the way that it was already there, because what will be is from the point of view of the future into the past, like the things which already been. So it's already boring. Even when it's not yet constructed, it's already boring. Oh, this is a nature that this demon have. Oh, you don't want to be in his state. Call him and have him in your own life, because you will become highly depressed on the bottom on the bottom level which you can ever be. You will be so depressed that you are unable even imagine how depressed a man could be from nothing, even when everything around is perfect and works like a charm and it's awesome, and you have happy, loving persons around you. Your life is just the way that everyone will jealous on you, how perfect life you have. You will be still in the mood of the highest depression possible and want to kill yourself for no reason. Just like that. Same way if you embody oh, deities which are the opposite setting, you may be in a position that someone will plan to kill you, and you will know it, and you will know that it's inevitable, and you will die anyway. You will anyway be happy. You will be still in the state of the happiness because you are just like that. Why to bother? Everyone will die someday. It's not about to it's not about dying. It's not about death itself. It's about the way how do that happens. You want to die happily because when you die happily, it's always better from many of reasons. When you die happily, your soul is then in the state of happiness even after your death. Because when your body dies, your awareness goes away from the body, and the soul is still connected to this awareness. And when you are in the state of happiness, this awareness will stay in the state of the happiness. So you will be even after your death with that awareness of your soul still happy. And because after your death is there only the awareness, so you are aware, like it's a state like when you just are, you don't think about anything, you just are. It's unexplainable. It's a state when you just are. It's like sleeping awake. In this state is from the beginning is impossible in this state to do anything. You are in a sleeping mode, but you are aware. You see, you hear, but you don't think about anything. There is no thought process which will solve the things which are coming to you. You are just in the state of the existence. You are only existing. And this way, you are also after your death, because there is no much big difference between the death and the sleep. It's comparable from certain point. The only reason is that after your death, you will not wake up in your body, but you will still in the same state as you are in the sleep. The difference is when you are sleeping normally, you are not aware of yourself. When you are sleeping awake, you are aware of your surroundings. You are still seeing. You may see with your eyes, you may see with your awareness by itself, without using the eyes. You hear by your ears, you are able to hear even without the ears, only by the awareness of your mind. Your mind. It's not your mind and it's not mind by itself in this state, but let's say, okay, you'll be able to use some analogy and compare things, how people are still thinking that it's working, because technically this body is driven by the system, same as the mind is driven by the system. So you are anyway the awareness only. You are not this body. You are not these thoughts. You are not this mind. You are only the awareness, which is aware of this thought, of this mind, of this body. You are only in the state of the awareness of yourself, but you are not yourself. You are the soul with the awareness. If you have a soul, if you didn't change it for or reconnect it for some Devi, because you may stay connected to your soul and also call some Devis. So at your cellular system are connected more awarenesses, not only the awareness of your soul, but also the awarenesses of the Devis you called. You may even completely disconnect from your soul and stay connected only to the awareness of the Devis you called. You may call the Devi, fork it, carbon copy it, create your own Devi, then disconnect from the existing one with the data storage which she have or he have, and reconnect yourself, the newly created one, stay connected there, and disconnect completely from your soul because you don't like it, or the possibilities of the soul are not as big as the possibilities of newly created device. Or you embody, copy the characters which you want from your soul into your newly created one, and copy also the characters of the Devi which you want in your own newly created one, and don't want to copy all of it. So you want to embody only the best from both, from your soul, your characters, from the Devi, his characters or her characters. Create your own and made it to work for yourself the way you want. It doesn't mean that the fate is out of your concern, because he will always do the things to you because you are his toy all the time, and you will be his toy all the time, because it's the real true reason for this creation. It's technically our purpose to be here as his toys. So if someone's thinking, oh, I'm the highest possible something, because I'm rich, because I'm famous, because I am what? You are what? You have a money? You have a big money? What you get from it? You will die anyway. You will lose your property. You will lose your money. You will lose your fame with the depth of your body into which is connected all of this. You won't get anything from this physical world there. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Nic. None. Existing thing you can get there. Because there is the existence without the need of matter. Because the matter is anyway only perception. Perception for your senses. Technically, the matter doesn't exist. Technically, which exists is only the field of the perception of the matter for your senses. Because you are awareness, which is aware through your senses. And the awareness of your senses is the awareness of your mind and your body, which is technically not yours. It's the body of the Satana Mata Parabrahma system, which is driving this body and creating it. You are unable to have 66 trillion of cells working the way you want. You are unable to do this. The proof of it is when you get sick, you are running to the doctor. You think that the doctor will know better than you what's wrong with you. The doctor is not in your body. The doctor doesn't see your cells. The doctor doesn't feel your body. Doctor may only take a blood from you, make the tests, few simple tests, see what's wrong with your blood, for example, and from it assume what may be wrong with your body. If you were the one who is the real one, owner of the body, who's the real one, owner of the body, you would be able to see what's wrong in your body. You would be able to feel what's wrong with your body. You will be able to change the behavior of your body, that it will work the way you want. But it's task for CD to be able to achieve this like that. When you are a normal human, you may find out that when you are not dependent on the money and properties and fame and those things, and of course what connects to it as drugs and at least alcohol, cigarettes, and other fucking stuff. When you are not connected to this, you may be able to find that it's super to be a normal human. Because when you find out who you are and how to work with yourself, it's real magic. It's really real magic. It's incredibly uh, how to say, you will find out that you don't need a doctor for anything. You will find out that you are able to repair your body by yourself. Not maybe 100% you want, at least in the beginning, but at least the way you feel. So when you are feeling pain, physical pain, you are able to make it disappear without using any pills, any drugs, which will anyway harm your system, especially the liver, which are really important for spiritual growth, to be perfectly clean, perfectly healthy. Same as kidneys, because when the kidneys are not perfectly healthy, your liver is also not healthy because your blood doesn't become clean. And there is second thing, which is emotional pain, which could be also dissolved by usage of supernatural things. So you don't need again any pills for this. So you may physically able to feel, emotionally able to feel in a state of almost blissfulness. If it's not blissfulness all the time, at least it's happiness all the time. And you're calm, you're happy, you're satisfied. From it, all the success became because when you are in the state of already achieved success for no reason from everything, you already have it. And the system will make you the way as you already have it. So the best way how to get into the state of success is to set yourself into the state as you already achieved the success, because you are already in that state. It will attract the surrounding into this state. It will make you the way as if you already get it. What Jesus said. If you wish something, you think about it as you already get it. It's written in the scriptures of the Black Sea. I didn't read them, but I know it's there. And I'm pretty sure that if someone will read them, you will be able to confirm this. Jesus wasn't the God the way the people are thinking. Jesus was the man who met a woman, Maria Magdalena, which was technically the goddess of Kali, which had downloaded certain manifestations of her into herself. And because of this, she was able to do things which none other human this time was able to do. She was a whore, living like a whore, because some of the manifestations of Kalike was considering that this style of living is the most easiest style of the living for her. She was the best informed from those places. She had the best connections from those places. She was able to influence the most powerful people from her occupation. It was the best occupation she could possibly had in this time to get the most power over the situation around her and influence it the way she wanted. So she was the whore. And the fact is that because she had a Kalike inside of her, there wasn't any problem with any disease by this time that she could be able to become ill from it, because Kali was able to block all the diseases she could possibly get, because she was embodied Kali on the level that she became her. So it was technically the body of Kali and not that woman by itself. Technically she became goddess. And because tantrically she became goddess, in fact. And because it means the same. Tantric means technique. Doesn't matter. And because she became this way, and she met Jesus, Isha, as called her, as she called him. Because she met Isha. And Isha was really incredibly creative person. He get in his he get into his life really impressive settings of properties of his soul. His soul was set the way like none of the humans all over the world this time was set. Today days, there exists two sages, two people on this world which are sages, two sages which have the same set of the properties like Jesus had. So they were able to become sages. Of course, with this setting, it's clear that those sages must be the sages of Vishnu or Krishna, because Krishna, even Krishna, didn't have this clear property setting as Isha had, from obvious reasons, because Krishna was created the way that he must be able to go through not easy life situations. So his properties couldn't be only the purest properties. He must be little, I'd say, I don't want to say because I don't want to place him. He's still there. His jokes wasn't all the time enjoyable by everyone. He enjoys them, but those jokes were taken out, the people wasn't always happy from his type of joking. Let's say this way, how he was. Really carefully by that, because we like him and we don't want to make him against ourselves. And but there is fact that it was like that, so it's true. It's nothing bad on it. So Isha, Jesus, Isos Christos, from that Isos Christos, Isha, Isos, Isha, became. So Isos, Isha, was set for another purpose. He didn't had the, I'll say it, let's make it clear. He didn't had the evil properties of the soul which Krishna had. The things that Krishna was about to do wasn't the best things. He had to do them. But if his spiritual growth this time was a little higher, there couldn't be this war. If he was spiritually a little higher level, possibly little higher level, or he didn't embody it into his happening, into his incarnation, those little evil things, that war couldn't happen. It could be in the way that everything what happened wasn't problem for him. But there was a certain setting of the ego which made him to act as he acted. And it was technically said unnecessary evil. But from the point of view of Mahadeva, it was about to happen because it had to happen from many reasons. Because if the Mahabharata didn't happen, we couldn't had we couldn't have the events which are connected to it. We couldn't have the history of the existence of him. Same way it's with Jesus. If Jesus was set the way that he will be a little more bad, that there will be a little more of evil in him, and he will be set the way like Krishna was. 100% same. Even in those days, dependent on the surroundings, the character of his soul developed based on the qualities which became from that setting of that soul by his properties, by its properties. So that if Isha was able to be a little more evil, if it was allowed to him to be a little more evil, he wasn't crucified. He didn't nail him on those two pieces of wood and made him a corpse as a symbol. He was able to get out of it. But he was too trustful. He was too loving. He was too good for his time. He wasn't possibly able to get the rid out of it. So he wasn't able to get out of it. And he died incredibly awful way, which he really didn't deserve to. Because he was really awesome, and he had to be here and made the world better if he could a chance to stay. And it wasn't Satan who killed him, as some from the church may think. It wasn't his work. It was the demon who killed him. And even when he had Maria Magdalena on his side, and she was really mighty, technically said witch, because she had powers which none of human this time had. She had magical powers which none of the humans this time had. Of course, secretly, because otherwise she would be burned, or at least hanged. So she was really, but she was conscious, so she was really careful about what she were doing. And even when she was in this state of the mindset, and she knew who she is and what her powers are, even when she was almost 100% Kali, she wasn't able to save him, even when she wanted. She really wanted, because she really loved him. But Mahishasura was again too strong, and again was cheating. He was cheating the same way as when Kali and Mahesha were fighting against themselves many thousands years ago. And Kali had a big army, really big army, hell army, really many of devils on her side. But Mahesha had only few demons. It wasn't big army. So if he wasn't cheating, it was clear win of her, like this. Just like that. But he used a mantra. I don't remember it perfectly. There was some things about Katvanga Shula, Radharam, Oshadam, Ambikesham. Ah, doesn't matter. He used a mantra of this to resurrect his demons, to be able to fight again. And also, this mantra was able to resurrect her dead corpses of devils, and became the devils fighting on his side. So he was sitting in the background and chanting, and the whole Kali's army changed into the demon's army. So they were suddenly fighting against her, and she lose. They killed her lion, and she had stupid weapons, in fact. And they killed her lion, and she felt. But still, she considers herself as the winner of this battle, because technically she is the winner of this battle, because it was a reached battle. She shouldn't lose it. She had to win. But he is a really big cheater. And he doesn't play fair. So he lost this battle same way as Isha, Jesus, lost his battle and died like animal. There were a few gypsies which helped him and stole the big nail which was used for the legs. So because of this stolen nail, gypsies are until today days still under the protection of Kali because they helped her laugh and made his suffering a little less awful. But anyway, Jesus dies on the kidney failure. And it's most painful way of the death you may experience when your kidneys are failing. The pain is so intensive that you want to die. You are praying for the death to happen as soon as possible. Ah, me with glomerulonephritis have an experience of it, so I was peeing a black protein. I was peeing in black and in it was flowing a white protein. So I had a really big failure of kidneys when I was young from getting cold. Because I felt in the river and was dragged around 200 meters, 250 meters under the ice. And there was Stoka from a city where the ice was melt. And I get out from the water there. But I drank a lot of that shit, which made the kidney failure. It wasn't the cold. It was about minus 23 degrees of Celsius at that time. But it wasn't the cold which made me sick. When I came home, my clothes was frozen so it was almost impossible to get out from it. But the kidney failed from that shit which was coming from that Stuka. So I survived only thanks to that I lost my consciousness when I hit into my head and get under the ice. So the flow of the river dragged me under the ice on that place where I get out. When after some time I was there to find out how long was that. I was thinking it was about 20 meters. When I measured it, it was about 250 meters. 200 under the ice. Then 50-meter melted ice. Not exactly, but I didn't measure it by laser. Well, doesn't matter. So I was 17, and my kidney failure was a really painful thing. I've been fighting with that disease like a normal human for many years. But I think I was quite successful because I was forced by doctors to use corticosteroids and immunosuppressives, which corticosteroids are immunosuppressives because it's autoimmune disease. So it's cured, or better said, managed by shutting down the immune system of your arm to not be able to create things which then the same system must dissolve in glomerum of the kidneys, which are the filtering things for your blood. So I didn't took those drugs because I've seen the people how they look after few years of using them, and they were looking like zombies. And when they get flu, they died on that flu. Because of that experience, I wasn't I wasn't about to go through it. So I used another way of treating, which was a long term development. But I think we succeeded pretty well because this time I shouldn't be already dead if I've been using the standard medicine. And my embodiment of my Devi confirms it. And she knows. So I treated myself with a little help, the good way. back to the Isha. If he didn't die on that fucking cross, he could been able to change the world, which wasn't so bad that time. It was still the good world to live in. Merchants were working perfectly, and everything was that was a big empire, basically. Everything was working like a charm. In fact, people were happy and satisfied with life. Life was this time technically good way. Not everywhere peaceful, but almost everywhere peaceful. It wasn't so bad, even when we consider that we are the ancestor of Cain, because Abel was killed by his brother. It was also the will of Madeva. So he made it this way to make this world more competitive, which wasn't possible if we were ancestors of Abel. But he wasn't enough still. He made to he had to make it more bad, more evil, to make it more funny, because he thinks that suffering and evil is fun. And his son Satan also like it, so whatever. So if the Isha was able to survive, if he wasn't get killed on that cross, this world could become a paradise, because he was against the people which are stealing our money from the taxes. He was about to be against the wars by themselves from stupid reasons. People normally don't want to fight. People normally don't want to die. There is no reason for doing that. They don't want to do that. They want to live normally, grow up children, sit and just be. Makes them happy. People are normally lazy from the nature, by the nature. It's him who's forcing them to do things which they don't like. But they are changed into the set of the mindset that they are thinking that it's their idea to do the stupid things. So then the brothers are killing brothers for no reason and are unable to do anything with that, because this demon is cheater. So the human set of the character of the soul of Jesus was almost the God's set, the bright side of the God sets of character which embodied the God into this person. So he made him awesome. And if he had a chance to survive, if Mahishasura wasn't cheating again, there could be a really awesome world by today's days. There could be a really paradise on the earth. Instead of that, there are nations pushed against themselves for stupid reason of jealousy with unexplainable source, which may lead into a complete annihilation of the whole world. With this Armageddon, because armies are getting on. If it will really become a nuclear war, if we won't be able to stop it again, we will all die. No problem with that. But it's stupid type of death. And made it only for one demon to his enjoyment to see how it will look when it's everything with which exists from the weapons used. He wants to use every weapon which exists, technically, which means not only conventional weapons, but also nuclear weapons. So this conflict is directed the way that first will be used old weapons, old techniques, old tanks, old helicopters and jets, the newest and newest and newest, then the most modern fighting vehicles which exists, most modern tanks with most modern systems. And when everything of this will be destroyed, there will start the usage of nuclear weapons from the oldest 30, 40 years old to the newest one, 500 megatons rockets with 5 megaton warheads rockets. 500 megatons is 10,000 times more powerful than was used in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. One bomb on Hiroshima was 50 kilotons. The second one on Nagasaki was also 50 kilotons. So those warheads have 500 megatons. It's 10,000 times more strong warhead. 10,000 times more. only 27 of these warheads. It's needed to destroy the whole planet, the whole life on the planet, to kill directly 6.5 billion of people. The rest, 600 million people will die by the collateral damage from the radiation and impossibility of food and blown up Yellowstone, when the ashes will be for 70 years or maybe more into the sky, and sun won't be able to reach the planet. Nothing will grow. Oh, we will all die, except the few hundreds of thousands people which are able to survive in the underground cities, which are built with artificial nature. But they won't survive there for long, because they will have failures, technical failures, which they don't think even that may happen because of the redundancy of the systems, but it will happen anyway. I saw it already in a vision, so they will die too. And when everything will be dead here, there will be next iteration 3,087,000 started. It's stupid ending of this iteration 3,086,000. It's a really stupid ending. I'm not sure why Mahadeva was about to change, or Isha changed the Mahadeva the way that it will happen this way, because Mahadeva is only running unit for this world, the one who's in charge of these computing clusters, Isha, Maheshwar. The bright side of the God created Isha as Jesus here on this planet, to show him how nice he can be, and embodied him into the body of Jesus, made him have a mind as Jesus had, made him a good, able to make miracles, and became wonderful. So Jesus was awesome God walking on this earth. He really was the God. He was a human body with a God mindset, with the God character of the soul, with the God's character of the soul, and with the connection to Isha's consciousness. So technically it was Isha Maheshwara walking on this world, and he was awesome. He was this way to be able to become aware that the world can be much better place to live. But instead of becoming aware who he maybe came to be, how he may be good, how he may became good. He find out that he's in fact a demon, and he's set like that. And he find out that his powers will grow up, and that he will misuse them, because he will be more and more aware of himself, not only from the bright side of the character, of the properties of his soul, which was given to him by the bright side of the God, Abraham, but he became aware that he will embody also directly his dark side of him as the God, and that he will become